Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, Mario's here,
What's up, guys?
and Connor's here.
Hey everyone.
We're going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 9. The episode right before the mid-season final. And much like last year, it's gearing up quite obviously to something pretty epic before we leave off for Christmas and for a 3-month break while Agent Carter's on. But full spoilers as always. The episode is called Closure, and IMDb's description reads as follows. Ward's vendetta and plan for revenge against S.H.I.E.L.D. brings the team to their knees, and Coulson proves he will be willing to do anything to settle the conflict. So,
Seems pretty accurate.
yeah, so this episode started in a really weird place. Now, before we get to the main thing we're going to talk about in the opening scene, I thought it was a dream sequence. Because they were so happy, and based on where they were when we left last week's episode, I was like, this is a dream sequence.
But were they not fairly happy? Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. Never mind.
Yeah, last week it was like, oh, yeah, you're technically working for Hydra. Biatch. You know, that was
Yeah.
where we left last week.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. And then, of course, and again, I said full spoilers. Right, I'm reiterating that before I get to this. Then the gunshot happens, and it's shot really well because like, it sees the bullet hole, goes over, and what's her name? I can't remember. Roz. Thank you.
Rosalind.
She is shot in the neck and dies, and it's pretty shocking. It comes out of completely nowhere, and I still thought it was maybe a dream, but it was more of a nightmare until it did the zoom
Zoom out to.
down that massive street until it got to Ward, and I'm like, oh shit.
Not gonna lie, it was a pretty impressive shot.
It was mostly
Yeah.
CG, but it was good. Yeah,
Reminded me of the Winter Soldier. You know, when he shoots Nick Fury
yeah, a little bit.
a little bit.
I actually think Ward versus Winter Soldier might be an interesting fight if it ever came to it.
Pretty sure the arm wins.
I'm pretty sure it does too, but just in terms of their backgrounds and like just they're
Similar characters.
yeah, similar disciplines, I'd say, is the way I'd put it.
Yeah.
But so we started with and obviously Joss Whedon's not showrunner on this, but this reminded me a lot of the classic, and no spoilers for anything else he's done, but Joss Whedon has been known to very suddenly kill a character out of nowhere.
Yep.
Speaking of
certain leaves falling in the wind. It's terrible.
speaking of Joss Whedon referencing almost, was the ram symbol?
I noticed that, yeah.
I was just thinking, is this a Whedon reference? Like, is this supposed to be that?
Because it was in Age of Ultron, he put in like a little thing where a wolf, a ram, and a heart.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking.
together.
Is this supposed to be like that as well?
I don't know. But neither of you guys were here for the last review, actually. Because Mario's computer was on the fritz and you were sick.
Yes.
Right.
So you weren't here when I was like gushing to Alex that I loved how the reveal last time where Hydra's been actually trying to get this demonic inhuman back from this other planet.
Yeah, that was a point. So that was where it was saying Hydra wasn't started with Red Skull. It was much, much older. Was that the first retcon of the MCU?
It wasn't necessarily that Hydra. It was just this entity's changed and adapted throughout time.
Yeah.
And they just taken. It's like, when you find out you have a character that's been alive for like thousands of years, and you're like, oh, your name's blank. It's like, what's one of the names I've gone by?
Yeah.
That's kind of more the way I took it.
But more up till now, I think it was presented as Hydra wasn't anything until Red Skull in Captain America. It didn't really exist until that point.
It was a branch of like the obviously the Hitler army Nazis.
Yeah. So was this the first proper retcon of the MCU?
I wouldn't call it a retcon.
Would you not?
No, I feel like I completely buy that Hydra was a thing before that, and that was just them.
That doesn't stop being a retcon though. Like it's something that wasn't the original plan. That was there. This was something. This was the fact for many years now, and then this is the new fact.
I guess, but I think I just associate retcon with bad in my head, so I'm arguing because I don't think it's bad. I guess is where
I'm not viewing it as a bad thing though. I'm just saying
that's fair.
Technically a retcon.
Okay, I guess it technically is, but to me a retcon's when it feels out of place because it feels forced.
Fair enough.
But I mean that's just perspective. I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that happens right away. that's how the episode starts, and then Coulson comes back to base, and he's like, well, actually, first of all, he takes out like 10 Hydra guys on his way out the building.
Like a fucking
again,
badass.
the music and the action very much reminded me of Winter Soldier again.
Yeah, it was really well shot. It was kind of like when Skye had that badass moment last season where she did that oneer. It wasn't a oneer, but just the way he was like doing all these smart little things and outsmarting them and shooting them.
I really like how they used the fake hand as well.
Yeah, because that's stronger. He can
yeah,
hold a gun with that and like not crush it, but like.
Well, the guy that tries to shoot him, he just grabs his hand and like crushes the gun and then throws it away. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Just cool. Speaking of the music, I thought it was really interesting when Roz got shot. There was no music; it was just the gunshot sound, and it wasn't until it pans round and you see her bleeding and holding her neck that the music comes in, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah, so sometimes music, the most impressive thing to do with music sometimes is to know when to not have it.
Yeah.
You know. So we spent about 10 minutes on the first scene. So
it's a big scene.
Well, it's a very important scene.
Yeah, it is. It's so Coulson
it's basically the entirety of the rest of it just comes because of the scene.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, Coulson comes back to base and he's like fucking man on a mission, and he like interviews all the original team members to look for weaknesses in Ward, which he eventually gets from Skye, because Ward's brother issues and all that, which plays into things, and he makes Mac the acting director because he's about to go off book and do stuff that's very illegal.
I thought that was pretty interesting too. I like seeing Mac in that role.
I did too. Although I did think for a second, like, all he needs is an eye patch, and he's kind of like, I mean, he's got the bald head, he's got the goatee,
he's tall, and you can see the Nick Fury looking like Mac when he was younger.
Yeah,
he was probably big and buff.
Yeah, there's time travel going on here. He's going to grow up to be Nick Fury. Yeah, so obviously we need to talk about Fitz and Simmons getting kidnapped by Hydra, which was very uneasy because obviously Ward immediately starts using Simmons, like getting tortured in another room to try and torture Fitz. Yeah, it was heartbreaking, and I'm like, God, he's the one that's going to break because he can't.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, well, even says that line like, well, "I can't live in a world where you're not in it."
Yeah, and their relationship continues to be exceptionally touching.
Yep.
And I really, this episode was a lot of build up for the mid-season final because they end up going to the castle that they brought Simmons back in episode like 2 or 3, and basically like Mac realizes they're in trouble because of all the information they're getting, and May's like, you know what, you need to make the call. Coulson said not to interfere. You need to make the call. They need backup. Do it. So then Mac's like, yeah, aye, let's make the call. Right. And it gets the Inhuman team, which really just consists of 2 more people, but still.
It was a total of 3.
Yeah, we got Melting Man. I don't know. Does he have a name yet? Like an actual nickname?
Like a code name?
No,
I don't remember one.
And Lincoln, and then obviously Daisy.
Yeah, obviously got Quake in there. And that's cool because because after the assault on the Inhuman base at the end of season 2, I'm looking forward to the potential actions next episode.
They're gonna fuck some shit up.
They are. In fact, there was some impressive stuff in this. Like even Coulson jumping out the plane with a parachute, which never opens by the way. He just goes flying into the portal.
Yeah,
like a badass.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. It reminds me of how much better it looks now compared to, if you remember, I think it was the first season where the car falls out of the plane.
Connor?
Yeah.
Sound card?
It didn't. I don't hear it anymore.
Nah, it wasn't even the usual noise. It was like a crackling sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. It just happened to me a minute ago where it nearly deafened me and I had a heart attack. So if you see it on the video, about 2 minutes ago, me having a heart attack.
Okay, that's why you're reacting.
Yeah.
So you were saying about reminding you?
Yeah, just it looks much better because I think it was the first season and the car where it falls out the plane, and it kind of looked really bad. But now they have someone falling out of a plane and jumping out and going down.
Yeah, well, even the scenes when we have like the new ship appear, like it all just looks better in general whenever there's things landing and taking off from their ship and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the budget's generally. I don't know if it's actually higher budget or if they're just spending their money a bit wiser. I don't know, like what's causing it, but They seem to be making a conscious effort to make things look better, or maybe it's just the fact that all these Marvel movies are making like billions of dollars. They can afford to give Shield a few extra
Throw it
pennies.
alone,
That
basically.
might be some of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think actually one of the reasons why this will stay around, even if the ratings aren't spectacular, is that there's a lot of potential rewatch value in Shield because say we're at Phase 4, Phase 5 of the MCU. Shield's been done for years by that point. Like, people might go back and want to watch it because it's connected to all this stuff,
Yeah.
There's a natural sort of reason for people to seek it out.
I can feel them just keeping it around just because of all the Inhuman stuff that they're building here, presumably ready for the movie.
Which would put it to 2018, which would put it to about season 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah.
Which would be a nice natural point, probably, for it to
That's
end.
respectable.
Yeah, that's a good run. I mean, honestly, any more than that, it'd probably be gone too long. So
Yeah, I can feel it going up to there, leading into the movie, and then kind of...
Well, so you also got the spin-off coming out, so then they can have different
Yeah.
spin-offs kind of take over.
Oh, speaking of that, when Coulson comes in and like grabs
Hunter? Or?
Hunter, yes, Hunter by the neck. Oh, I kept wanting to say,
yeah.
I kept wanting to say Nick Blood, but that's his actor's name, so I always try to remember his character. Like he grabs him by the neck. I'm like, oh,
He's
shit.
pissed off, yeah.
It reminded
But I also
me.
like that then he flips, and then he kind of realizes, wait, I can use you because you're an evil guy. You can kill someone and not feel bad about it. So
Yeah,
me and you, let's go. We're taking off.
Yeah,
I thought Hunter was great in this.
he
Again.
was good. Yeah, he's a lot more in the. I mean, he's still a good character, but he's like a bit closer to that grey where he's willing to shoot someone in the head if it.
Yeah,
you know.
but it's also like he has a bit more fun with it as well. You know, like when Coulson's like jumping out the plane, he's like, "Oh, come on!" Like he wants to have a go.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot because he walked that. You can tell he walked with the the approach of trying to get him to not leave, but just halfway through walking there, he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go too," because that looks like fun.
Yeah,
So the portal's closed, so he's actually going to have to land and
deal with the
take some
the shit.
Hydra out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I fucking love Hunter. He's great.
Ah, that's had nothing to do with it. It wasn't a reference to anything, I don't think. But I think if someone said to Mac, or Mac said to someone, they've got an axe to grind, and I was like, I'm counting that as an axe reference. Oh god, no. So I mean, episode Edge fits with Ward.
Also, looking like a badass in a suit with the goggles compared to everyone else in their military gear.
Yeah, I know. Fitz is looking pretty spiffy.
Looking
Yeah,
sharp.
like they're on the other planet now. Now I don't think they're going to be there for a long time. I think they'll either be back at the end of the mid-season final, or the first episode after Christmas. I don't think they're going to be there for ages.
Right.
Yeah, I'd expect the same.
Well,
I'd expect
they
the
already
end of
set
it.
up the 12 hours
Yeah.
line, so
So, so that's cool. Obviously we might run into Will next episode.
The real question is, do all of them come back?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is maybe someone gets left behind. Hopefully Ward, because not that I think Ward's a bad character. I think he's actually quite a good villain. But
Oh, imagine if Will comes back but Fitz is left behind.
that'll fucking kill me.
That's gonna crush
no,
me.
No, that's not. No, 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 no.
Well, the other question is, what if the Inhuman character
Thing.
comes over?
I think he will. I
and
think
that's the second half of the season is dedicated to uniting more Inhumans to take that guy out.
what I would guess if I was to make a prediction, and every time we've predicted something in this show, we've got it wrong. So keep that in mind. But if I was to guess, I would say that they'll get back at the end of the episode or after Christmas, and they'll think he didn't come back, but then we'll know that he did. The Inhuman did come over.
Yeah, it'll be
So-
like Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, yeah.
The last episode.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you're talking about. But like they won't know it right away, so he'll be slowly causing really bad shit to happen all over the planet or whatever, and it'll build up for the second half. But I think this entity is the big bad for the next half of the season,
Yeah,
which is cool because so far I like him a lot.
me too.
Yeah, it means more Inhuman action too.
But my only problem is with more screen time, more development, it might become a bit less scary almost.
Yeah, well, it depends how they handle it. I mean,
Yeah.
they could,
It depends how
depends
much
how
we
it
see it
goes.
too.
yeah,
That's true.
because they could keep it as a sort of ominous presence that we don't actually see a lot. You could send Ward or Hydra people to do his bidding, or
Yeah, but see, they kind of set up this idea that he changes form in different ways to mess with people. Like, remember the
That's true.
astronaut?
Ah,
that
that's right,
looked
yeah,
like an
yeah.
astronaut.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that could really fuck with the like people's heads if like he shows up to like fits as Simmons and things like that, and
Yeah.
No, they're definitely taking this route, aren't they? They've got to take that route.
yeah,
Well, now they can just use the same actors to play like their
they're villain,
one
yeah.
of these fake villains,
Which
and
is
then,
fun. Which is fun for the actors as well because they get to do like a really different version
Yeah.
of that.
And it's always fun to
character.
watch an actor play the evil doppelganger.
Yeah, with a mustache.
That's something.
Yeah.
But almost every character in Buffy get a chance to do an evil version of themselves at some point or another. So,
Yeah.
great episode. I think we all loved that.
Yeah, the pace was crazy. Like, it was just
Yeah.
high intensity throughout the whole thing. Like, even when interrogation was always a lot slower, like things weren't happening as much, but you were still just
On
tense.
edge, yeah.
It was literally that opening minute of just conversation between Coulson and Roz that you were kind of breathing normally.
Yeah, and then just
And then after that, it was like,
it was good all around. I like that the conversation that Powers Booth had with Ward, where
Yeah,
he calls him like an old man, and he's like, I'm not gonna, I know when I'm being manipulated, I'm not gonna jump in there head first and fight for somebody else's dream and blah blah blah. And that conversation I thought was pretty good. It gave both of them a little bit more dimension.
yeah, because
other
he's
than
like, I don't
evil
want,
guy.
I don't want you to follow me. I want you to lead. Like that was like
yeah.
stroking Ward's ego. Is how you manipulate him. I guess. But it's a fantastic episode. Pace was excellent, as you say. I haven't even mentioned, Ward's brother, like all that stuff. I liked how Ward's brother was like, no, he's a fucking evil dick. Like, just put him down. When you see him, put him
And
down.
then, yeah, and then
like
Hunter
that.
was just like, yeah. It's great.
Oh, I like that scene where he's like, "You ever rob a bank?" No, have you?
He's like, yeah, let's just say never get into a bad bet with a bookie or something like that.
Fucking love Hunter. I can't wait. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that spin-off.
I'm a little upset that those two will be gone from this show, but they've got so much of a cast now, and they'll have new Inhumans probably that
Yeah.
it'll be a bit overstuffed. So maybe giving those two a chance to shine on their own is maybe a good idea.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to
because more Hunter screen time. That can't be a bad thing, surely.
No, it can't. Or Bobby. I mean, Bobby's
No.
great.
Yeah, Bobby's great too.
She's
so.
great too, but yeah.
So yeah, okay, let's stop gushing over it because I know that we're going to be gushing a lot more next week. What the real test next week though for the mid-season final is, will it top the excellent mid-season final from last year?
How much will we want to travel forward in time for 3 months is the real question.
Because last year's mid-season final was the one where Sky got her powers at the end, and that was phenomenal. That episode, one of the best in the entire show. But this feels like it could match it, if not, get past it.
Yeah.
It's got the setup there ready if it can capitalize on what it's promising.
Yeah, it's exciting. So that's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for this week, episode closure. We'll be back next week for the mid-season finale.